Hey, y'all, and welcome to some Southern Fried Justice. My name is Brian, and this judge is no nonsense and gives perhaps the best strain of justice you might ever see out of a courtroom. Let's dive in.
And things have just changed in such an incredibly dangerous way with young people doing what I just saw you do on that screen. Um, I cannot imagine the fear that person had that was working in that store, that he now has just trying to go to work, make a living, and go home. And he has three people come in and not just grab a little quick something and run out, but terrorize him for quite some time, pulling him around, yanking him around, putting guns in his face, all three of you. I also, in addition to the PSI, get jail incident reports. And you apparently like to fight and jump people, which is what's been happening in the jail. So it makes it very difficult for me to go, oh, this is somebody that's going to get out and behave, who can follow the rules, because you can't even follow the rules in jail. And the pre-sentence report shows that you're a high risk level, which tells me that after they've looked at everything, that you don't have, unfortunately, a good likelihood of being successful if I were to put you on probation. And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it. And there's got to be something done. So in cause number 25, DCCR 1759, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division. Going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm handing you the trial court certification. This was not an agreement. You have some rights to appeal. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. You can talk to Mr. Rojas about any questions you have about that. I am making an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Mr. Fontenette, I understand that this is harsh, and I know you believe this is harsh, but I think this is necessary. I hope that you go and you make things right. You can get out of prison. You're still going to be young, and you can make your life better. That's going to be up to you, okay? You can go back with the bailiff.
Y'all, some people might not like this, but this is the best version of justice I've seen out of a courtroom since the Andy Griffith Show. Okay? A fictional show 60 years ago. And if you don't know the Andy Griffith Show, it's a show centered around the actor Andy Griffith playing a character named by the name of Andy Taylor. And he goes around this little town of Mayberry, cleaning it up, making sure that there's nothing really bad going on there. And the worst thing that they have to deal with are some rowdy mountain folk and some moonshiners. And he makes sure that even the local town drunk has a place to go when he's had a little bit too much to drink because it's a dry town. He doesn't want the drunk to hurt himself. And he won't throw the book at farmers peddling moonshine. But he will bring them in. He will get them justice. And he'll occasionally have to throw the book at someone. This is one of those times. Okay? And you can even tell by the body language of this kid. This kid's only 15 years old. But the dude apparently, I've seen some of the footage and I won't show it here. But this kid was just terrorizing this shopkeep owner. He's 15 years old. Not the shopkeep owner, the kid. This kid knows that he's done something terribly wrong. Even look at his body language. Just go back and watch the body language on this kid. He knows that he's done something wrong. And he even knows, I think in his own heart, you can see a brief moment of, this is awful, but I think I deserve it. That's the body language of a man who's realized, I have pushed the limits of society. He's even apparently pushed the limits of the jail because he does this same exact behavior in the jail cells. And so this judge is basically saying, look, you've got a chance for appeal, but I'm throwing the book at you, 25 years minimum, and then you will have the opportunity to be a changed man when you walk out of there. It does happen. Sometimes jail changes a person for the better. It does happen, and this it very well might happen to this kid. Remember, the entire Colson Fellows Institute is based around this idea. Because Colson got thrown into jail for some federal crimes, and he managed to turn his life around. It happens. We see it all the time. So I hope it happens for this kid, and I think it will happen for him. I actually am hopeful for that, because again, his body language basically says, I know I've screwed up. I think I've pushed the envelope too far. I think I do need to be reined in. So this judge, Miss Raquel West, out of Texas, does the best thing for this kid, and I think he already is beginning to see the light. The problem that I see in this video more than anything else is you saw the family freaking out. The family. How do you put your child in a situation where he thinks it's okay to go out there and rough up people essentially for, what, fun? There wasn't much to be taken from this store. It looks like just your average convenience store. How do you put yourself in that position? How does this keep happening over and over and over again? You can see by their reactions, they are not happy with the consequences. Instead of realizing that maybe, just maybe, this is the best thing that can happen for him. This isn't just about the societal problems. This isn't about protecting society, which is what jail is supposed to do. Take those that cannot adjust, take those that are going to be a danger to other people or even themselves, put them in a place where they are no longer dangers, or at least can be more easily monitored. There's still some terrible things that happen behind jail bars. But the way this family is reacting is the opposite of that earlier example that I gave about the Andy Griffith Show. The people there realized they did wrong. And that's something very interesting and telling about the times. So remember, that show was also back in a day where people did take a little bit more accountability and responsibility. But people also knew that there was some good to having social shame. And we've lost a ton of that over the years. And I also know that it's just a TV show. They were still kind of pushing a narrative that everything was going to be fine, the progress was all good, and that everything's not as bad as it seems, okay? This was made in the 1960s to give a classic slice of life that was slowly fading away. Now in the modern world, we're starting to see that idyllic setting and realizing the kind of justice that needs to happen is the flip side of that coin. No longer is this about understanding, this is about protection, and hopefully this man comes through like Red did in the Shawshank Redemption. I truly believe that's possible. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. My name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Southern Fried Justice. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Till then, y'all have a good one.